itself, it'll just be like, it'll fade into the music directly as an intro. That was just me explaining for your sake when we're editing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Doing the righteous. Have you seen?
Yo.
Let me know what you guys think of the mix.
Of course.
It's
Okay.
still like a long way to go, but it's a banger.
Just 'cause he was feeling. Speeding on the highway, 100 on the nine, still counting all of mileage. And he sent it on my way, keep her out of my way, you can stay on my place. Tell me what you're feeling, gotta know all of your reasons. You gon' fuck about the weekend, but he gon' catch you sneaking. Girl, now that when I'm bleeding, so something for the weakness. Just tell me what you see, yeah. Tell me what you see, yeah.
R&B, but trap.
Yeah, of course. I can hear it, bro. That's amazing.
Got me swerving on my way. She be stuck up in her ways. Baby messing with my brain. Made me wanna go MIA. Every time I meet her, it get freaky like a porno. It's a cool experience, it get like me like I'm porno. Crystal that she wanna spend that day tomorrow. Before she left the crib, she said keep this on the low. Hey, she be sneaking when she down south. Oh, wait, we done found the bounce now. Foreplay, gotta leak it like I'm fountain. Mercedes on the dash, when you see us, we been round town.
You wanted to know how the mix was? Thank you. That's how good the mix was.
Holy shit, thank you. Damn. We're planning on dropping this like in a few months. Maybe. Yeah, gotta figure shit out. Everyone's everywhere. So this guy's in US right now.
Oh,
So yeah.
who is this guy again?
So there's Pranav on it.
Okay.
Pranav, Darren, and Hendro. He goes by Rowan. You met Hendro. So Hendro's in oh my god, Arizona. Both these other guys are in Chennai only. So trying to figure out some parts need to be re-recorded. We want to shoot a video.
Oh.
It'd be dope to come out with the video.
Yo, that is amazing.
We're trying to figure it out.
And yo, like you said, this was a bop. This is a straight up
Stream
bop.
it when it's out.
Of course. So, that begins our first ever episode of the Music for Days podcast. Hello, everybody. I'm Sudu, and join me as I explore and connect with all the artists and the musical artists of the growing music scene here in Chennai. And today, we have the one and only Varun.
Oh, what's up, guys? I don't think
Bring it in here, bro.
It's
It's actually funny how we met here today because we were supposed to meet I want to say 3 months ago, and I think neither of us kept up with that whole conversation.
More than June, July.
Yeah, June, July, exactly. We were gonna meet. Yeah, so that didn't really happen, but this was the first time we're meeting, and what a fucking way to kick it off.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
With a banger track too, yo.
Pick your poison, guys. It's called Pick Your Poison.
Yeah, bro. Stream it whenever it comes out.
I can't swear, right?
I just did.
You did?
I just did. You didn't clock it.
What'd you say?
Oh, I said I fucked. I mean.
Oh, okay. Stream the fuck out of this song when it comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Bless.
So yeah, today, now let's get into the main part of the whole podcast. Is that it's all about talking about with the artists and getting to know what sort of art it is that they do, why they do it, and how they do it. What drives them for it. So yeah, man, just could you give us a little intro about yourself?
So myself, Varun. I go by the artist name VRUN. So I'm a producer. I DJ a little bit. Now I'm a mixing and mastering engineer as well. I've learned quite a bit. So I majorly make hip hop, R&B, boom bap. Trying to get into EDM now because my roots were EDM.
Mm-hmm.
I started listening to music majorly on EDM and pop, Akon, Martin Garrix, Afrojack.
Oh. So your foundation is based on all those
OG club shit, right?
Club shit,
music.
yeah.
So I grew up listening to that, and I have to thank my cousins, my brother, a lot of people to thank for the music they put me on. I grew up on that. my mom listens to like Carpenters. You guys know Carpenters? OCB sir.
Sure.
Aaron Carpenter.
Yeah. OCB sir. Boney M. Oh, Boney M.
Boney
Not too sure about that.
Yeah. You don't know Boney M? Rasputin?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
chill, it's fine. Just like old classics. So I grew up listening to that. Obviously, it's like a lot of genres, but the main one that stuck with me throughout was EDM and hip hop. So like hip hop, obviously like I grew up listening to Eminem. I didn't know much about hip hop back in the day, but once I came to my 11th and 12th, like so many artists just came up, right?
Oh, dude,
so many
I
guys.
relate with that too. Like,
Yeah.
I used to be like mainly Eminem sort of guy.
Exactly, like I didn't know any other rapper. 50 Cent, damn, he's a rapper. I didn't know that.
Exactly, bro.
So yeah,
We just thought he did the ALS challenge and that was it. That was pretty much it.
I don't know about that.
The ice bucket thing.
I know he did one.
Yeah, that one.
Hey,
That's
you
called the
remember when
ALS
that was
ice
a thing
bucket.
back in school? Everyone did that on Facebook. Ice bucket challenge. Yeah, people did it at home.
Wait, you guys had friends who did that at
Bro, in school. It was in Chennai. I swear to God.
My school did not bother even peeking about shit like that.
Wales had people like that. I didn't.
Yeah, I got nominated to do it, and I never ended up doing it.
I think I did it. I don't know, maybe I did.
Do you regret not doing it, or how do you feel about it?
I don't give a shit.
I mean, bro,
Fair enough.
for the time, 20.
ALS is not going anywhere, to be fair.
Yeah. ALS
get me cancelled, but-
cancer, right?
ALS is a different thing.
No. It's cancer awareness.
Yeah, it's
No,
ALS ice bucket challenge.
ALS is not cancer. It's a different thing. Is it?
Never mind. Let's just move past that.
Yeah, religions, yeah, whatever. But yeah. So that's.
Oh yeah. So music. What was your question?
So
Why we do
Yeah,
what we want?
I just wanted you to give a little intro about yourself, and now that I get it, and like right now when you're staged in music, what genre do you specialize in?
Hip hop.
Mainly hip hop.
Hip-hop,
Are we
in and out.
talking? Are we talking like trap, hip hop?
Trap. I would say trap is my stronghold, like my strong point. I could do boom bap. R&B. R&B was
Wait, you
second.
could do boom bap?
For sure.
Yo, that's
For sure, but like boom
big
bap
claims.
is still I'm something like I know I can do it, but I'm not entirely strong.
Okay.
But trap for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
That's amazing, man. I really like that part where you're not sticking to just being in trap, because
Yeah.
even I'm like an you could say somewhat of an artist, and like I'm also doing my fair bit in producing, and like one of the things that I really wanted to make sure was not be put in a box, right? Because I personally feel like we're artists, bro.
You can't put yourself in a box.
You
have to.
shouldn't if you want to have at least some sort of traction or at least some sort of individuality in your music, you can't put yourself in a box. So like it's like an empty canvas. You do whatever you want.
Like look at what Tory Lanez did.
Oh yeah, dude, I swear.
Tory Lanez.
I swear.
You could say Russ too. as well.
Russ too.
Who else? A lot of guys.
The goat Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Kanye did not
peak,
stop, bro.
peak,
Kanye.
Actually, a good. That was a proper example for an
Yeah.
artist who does everything.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Literally anything, bro. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I had to say about that. And yeah. So when did you start producing?
So I used to like screw around on FL from like 2017, 2018.
What is that, like 9th grade, 10th grade?
Yeah, 9th, 10th. I used to have like some DJ software, like fuck around, right? Slash around. But I made some shit music. I could pull it up right now. I haven't, bro. That shit's so whack.
Hey,
It's
bro,
so
I
bad.
relate too, man.
I started making it especially because like, okay, I don't want to bring this up, but like I was heartbroken, right? This high school shit. I started making some sad music. It was pretty whack. I'm not gonna lie. Don't stream that shit. But my real friends know where to find that. But yeah, don't stream that shit. So I started making music
I'll tell you guys this, right? If you thought that was, let's say, corny, maybe.
At the time, yeah, for sure.
At the time.
Like now that I look back at it, I see why I did
It's
it.
a good
I love
memory.
that. I love that I did it. But
Yeah.
the music was shit.
Yeah. No,
I
that's-
sampled. You guys know "Gone, Gone, Gone" by Phillips.
Oh yeah.
I love you to gone.
Yes,
gone.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
sampled that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sampled that you tried sampling in your early days of FL?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I didn't know you could like.
That's insane, bro. I could never. No, because like, I'll
Sorry.
tell you why. Because like in my starting days of doing FL and everything, my first ever song was like a diss track to my teacher. And that was
Hey, we all started there.
ass. It was so bad. No, you don't understand. Like, you know what it was called? Rot.
R.O.T.
Yes, it was literally titled Rot. I don't even remember the lyrics, but like it was a very shit song, like what you said. But hey, the point being is that looking back on it, it's a good way to see how far you've come,
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that your first song is to distract your teacher, that just speaks fucking volumes, dude.
You're
course.
Eminem then. You're Black Eminem.
More or less. So yeah, I mean, that's where I started. So okay, so you started pretty much since then, and
Yeah, so I was messing around FL for the longest. Didn't take it seriously. I knew that's what I wanted to do in life. DJ, music. But it wasn't until 11th and 12th where I started taking it seriously. I had a friend, his name's Arvind. Shout out Arvind.
shout out
so
to
me and him used to, Arvind. Me and him used to cook up together. So he was making music as well. There's a lot of people in my college, school. Harsha, a lot of guys that were making music. Like shit, like why not do that as well?
so you had a
Nice,
very,
nice years.
so like you had a very like almost like a little community in school where
Not that, I wouldn't say community because everyone was to themselves, right? But like me and Arvind, we used to like produce a little bit together. And I mean, we were producing regardless individually to ourselves, but like we had that friend circle, right? Because see, when you're making music in school, you want someone to support you. You want friend circle who's telling you like, yeah, okay, it's cool. Because at that point, not everyone does it. Plus, not everyone as a kid knows how to make music.
True.
Like they don't know what to do, go where. So all of us sort of started around the same way. There are a lot of other friends as well. Then guys I met online, and I started making music like that. I was making lo-fi initially. Oh yeah, that shit's nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's on SoundCloud. So I was sampling like movie dialogues, and I put them over sad beats. And just like cry about it. I'm kidding. But yeah, shit like that. I started with lo-fi and then trap. Once I found trap, I never left it, bro. Trap's just, I fucking love making trap beats.
of course, man. Yeah, just
It's energy, right? End of the day, I love to make like chill music. I'd go back to that any day, but for me, energy comes first, like hard shit. So yeah.
No, that's sick, man. That's absolutely sick. So okay, so you started making music since then. Now,
I'd say when I was 16. Seriously 16? But like before that, like 13.
Wow.
But like I wasn't.
Long way. But that.
long ass
no?
way.
I remember.
You remember that, bro? I was like, if you go on my YouTube or like.
We had conversations like.
Yeah, that's what me and Madhav, we go way back. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't always talking about music. There's a bunch of other shit. But in school, in the park, it was always a park where we met.
Near the stands.
Yeah. So this talk,
I see.
I get shit.
I used to wait for my driver to come pick me up.
Yeah.
And maybe some of your
Kevin,
classmates.
exactly, Kevin.
Yeah.
Shout out Kevin.
Now, you're saying you kind of started dabbling around music from 13. Now it's like, you've been at it for like what? Close to 8 years? Something of that sort. Right?
But I would say seriously like 4-5 years, man.
Sure, okay.
I don't want to.
Seriously, you're doing it for 4-5 years.
Seriously 4 years.
Now, let's say, we have, considering how big the scene is getting, with more and more artists coming in, some of them even bringing numbers, trying to push the Chennai scene. What would you say is like a personal advice of yours that you would suggest to any musician coming up? I'll take it, that like in your journey that you felt, yeah, you know what? I wish I did it this way. I wish it went a certain way and, I kind of regret it, Is there something of that sort that you have?
There's a lot like that. So yet again, I'm still learning.
A couple few that you would like to talk about.
No, I'm still learning, right? I have a long way to go.
True.
I don't feel like I'm the right position to give out that advice, but something that I have learned is, so my situation while I started taking music seriously was very different. Like there's a lot of shit going on at home. I love to make music, but at the same time I had to make music as well to support myself financially.
Oh yeah.
So I was doing that for a while. I was still making like a lot of music, shit I loved. But at the end of the day, I felt like I got lost in the business aspect of things. You get it? Fiverr, like this beat, that beat. I got lost.
Beats. Weren't you selling beats?
I still sell beats.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still do it because, but nowadays I'm focusing more on collabs. But at the end of the day, that advice comes from where you're starting out, right? So my point is don't get lost in the business aspect of things. Focus on your art. Because that comes first. You focus on your art because a lot of times I've seen a lot of artists do this as well. So you have a plan, like now you have 10 songs. Assume you have 10 songs to drop, right? You just focus on developing those 10 songs to the fullest and don't have the mentality of like, oh shit, I need to drop this every other week. No, keep those songs like crystal ready to go. Sleep on it for a year if you have to. And when it comes out, conquer shit then.
Right.
Don't be lost in the thing like conquer it right now. Everyone has their time. I'm still learning, man. I got a long way to go.
Fair.
And I'm trying to remind myself every day, like, don't rush it. Just relax, just be present.
That's a great advice, man. I agree because like I remember like I'm like dropping an EP pretty soon.
stream it.
Yes,
Sure,
whenever it
stream it.
comes. And
When is it coming?
I would say, I'll confidently say it'll be dropping by the end of this year at the maximum worst.
Okay.
Right? Like by the end of the year, you'll definitely expect an EP from me. So one of the main things that I got, like how he mentioned, getting lost in the business side of it was like seeing how messed up the music industry can get.
Yeah. Oh.
I got because my version of looking at it was, I had a couple of my songs ready. I was like, okay, I want to drop this. And before I dropped it, I looked at distribution. Now, when I looked at distribution, obviously, I mean, I'm not sure how many people will be aware of this, but there's the fact that there's a lot of online distributors out there who can get your music out. Without these people, you can't get your music out.
Yeah.
And every distributor has some ick about them.
True.
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, I'm saying this purely because of how I did this whole research thing where I was going up on Reddit, I was going up on Twitter, I was going up on every forum possible. And every single forum was absolutely shitting on every distributor there is. I'm not going to drop any names.
Yeah.
But you get the point. It's it's tough for a lot of artists out there because of so many reasons. And these people can really mess you up, and sort of fuck with you mentally. So because of that, I was very unsure. I was very intimidated, to be honest. And I wasn't able to, think stuff straight. But now that I've gotten a little bit of an understanding of what it is, and sort of some level of acceptance too, I guess, you can't really get everything you want.
You can't.
You really can't. So yeah, with that, I would say, sooner or later I'll be dropping it. Now I'll say that I'm in the mixing stages.
Okay.
So yeah,
Shit, nice.
we'll be looking out. Be looking out. So yeah, that's that. And now I would like to talk to you.
You got a
about-
lot of questions.
No, of course, bro.
Bro
we're
is
trying to really understand how each and every artist is.
I've never done one of these before. I don't know where to look. I'm looking at him. I'm looking there. I'm looking at you.
Same, dude. Same.
No, you're looking at the camera. I'm trying to not look at the camera.
Oh.
It's like,
You're not really supposed to look at the camera.
yeah, this dude
Only
is just
during-
staring at the
only during,
camera.
intro segments. Yeah.
That's just look at me.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
Hey, all good. Also, wait, another advice I would want to say is, this is from a producer standpoint. You produce as well, you rap. So to all the producers out there, just know your, you have to study some aspects of the legal aspects of how music works, royalties, distribution, performance rates, collabing with people, getting your credits, bro, because people will fuck you up. Artists are going to take your beat and run with it. They're going to run with it. Yeah.
You had experiences where you got in your
I've had other people steal my beats. Steal my beats for sure, and use it. Don't give credit. There'll be guys in Poland, somewhere in Europe, they'll just blow up with it. I'm dog, just pay me some money. You're making bread of it, why not? And some guys will be yeah, I'll pay you, bro. They'll use a beat, they'll put the song out, then they'll ghost you for months. And I allowed them to do that because I was broke at one point. I would still say I am to an extent, but things have gone comparatively way better. So when those artists tell me hey, I don't have money, I'm okay, cool, let's go on it together. And this is only in a situation where they say, I'll pay you later. If they're going to say, yo, I can't pay you at all, I'll be fine, I'm not going to expect nothing. But when you put it up front, I'm still going to expect it, right?
True.
So they'll put the song out. They'll even drop a video, bro.
Okay.
You got money to drop a video, why can't you pay me?
No, and it's not even not even a bad, it's what you owe.
Yeah, and I'm not even complaining about it. I'm handling with these guys in the nicest way possible. And see, if I was some rich kid, I don't give a fuck about the money. But where I come from, I have to genuinely take care of myself.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, man.
So it sucks. But there are some nice artists out there who fully watch out for you. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, man, of course. There are always going to be some real gems in this.
Exactly. Rare gems.
Rare gems.
Very few
Emphasis
people.
on the rare.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the rare. But yeah, okay.
Because only a struggling artist will know another struggling artist's perspective.
True.
End of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely important. So, okay, let me ask you this. Now you do production and music, and that includes beat making, mixing, and all of that stuff. What would you say is your personal favorite part of the whole production process? Beat making. Straight up.
Beat making.
Straight up.
So I love to mix and master. You know what, I'm going to correct. I'd love to mix and master, but beat making is...
Your lane, pretty much.
Yeah.
Most comfortable in.
Most comfortable, any day.
I agree too, man. Even same, likewise. Because mixing and mastering is a little, comparatively less creative, more tedious.
Yeah,
So
hella tedious.
yeah, hella tedious.
Hella tedious.
You know how it is when like you think you've done the best mix that one night.
You wake up the next day,
your
like,
brain resets. Your brain resets. You're like, bro,
that low end, it's muddy here.
Yeah.
That compressor a little too much.
where did the kick go?
Where did
The
Bruce,
808s,
where did the kick go?
The kick disappears for you?
you don't know the nightmares I've been through.
Oh wait, he's not wrong. Like okay,
Yeah,
happens.
No, dude, am I the only one who feels that?
Wait, you too?
Yeah, and I mix for big people, dude.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where we all relate on that thing, right? It's like mixing can be a kind of complicated
Yeah,
process.
that's fuck.
So yeah, okay, fair. Yeah. Even I would agree to. It's like for me, beat making is my favorite bit too because like when I do beat making, I look at it in a way where I typically work in the sense of like working with a sample first. And like typically I'll find a sample from like Cymatics because no royalties, no issues.
Oh yeah. Shout out Cymatics.
Shout out Cymatics. You're because of you only I'm dropping my career.
I couldn't have made beats without y'all.
Exactly.
Like now I'm starting to recently I've started making my own samples, but when I started out it was just Cymatics.
Yeah.
And Cymatics.
Wait, so you make your own samples?
Now yeah.
Oh.
But I still use samples.
Okay.
Like now, so I could show you guys more music, but it's fine.
Yeah. But I mean, but yeah, this pretty much.
Even this track is a sample.
Right. Okay.
But like we added our own layers to it.
What was the song called again?
Picky Poison.
Picky Poison. Picky Poison.
Shout out Pranav, shout out Rohan, shout out Apit. I made the song with them, recorded in my place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone else made the beat. Shout out whoever made the samples. I don't know his name.
Shout out to the whole damn community. Yo.
Shout out my boys. Yes.
Yeah. So but as I was saying, it's like I always start off with typically any Cymatic sample and like to build around it, and then like in terms of how production goes, like ideas just flow to you, bro.
Yeah.
Whenever, wherever, you won't even be making the beat and the idea will come to you. So like that's how I typically produce, and beat making is definitely my most favorite part of production too.
No, like plus I feel like that's the most in the initial stage of making music. That's where it's most creative.
Yeah.
Right. That is a foundation.
Literally.
Make the beats, get as creative as you can. Then mixing and mastering.
It's just fine tuning.
Yeah,
just polishing it.
Exactly. But yet again, there's a whole argument of the same person who makes a beat, mixing it and mastering it. Right.
What's the argument about that?
This depends on the time frame, but there is a stigma or like people feel that the guy who's making the beat shouldn't mix and master as well because he might be
like ear fatigued. Is that what
ear fatigued or what's the word? It's more like he might
too possessive.
Posh.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
Are you saying there might be a level of partiality?
It'll be more selective. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying their way of approaching the beat will be more subjective,
very different,
rather than the objective way of getting the best product.
Yeah. But there are a lot of beat makers who mix and master their own shit. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Depends on what your frequency of doing that is. Like, if you make the beat one day and you're sitting and mixing and mastering it the same day, like you're doing it, I feel like you're gonna mess it up to some extent. You come back to a few days later, you will have a better chance of doing it. Why that compared to you make the beat, send it out to some dude like somewhere else, he listens to it, he adds his own sauce. I feel like that works best.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously that I don't always believe in that as well. That's why I want to learn to do everything on my own.
No, yeah.
So it stays in my control. Even you would agree on that.
I would agree on that. I would definitely.
You trust your process best than anyone else.
Because that's the beauty of like art, right? You find your own process.
Yeah.
You make your own process. You like this is one sort of mentality that I try to keep up whenever I make something like let's say a little experimental where I'm a little like, okay, this may or may not work. I always think to myself, okay, like, everyone's, the way you look at everything these days, everything is so saturated. You look at any sort of market in music, any side of music, it's so saturated. So I look at it in a way where if it's so goddamn difficult to climb up that lane, just make your own lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Just make your own lane.
Yeah,
See, it doesn't matter where, I look at it in a way where like, it doesn't really matter where you are in that lane. As long as you're in your own lane, that's a power in itself. That's a plus in itself. Because you're in a lane where most people aren't. That separates you from the crowd.
Exactly.
So,
and there's a lot of rappers and singers out there who just, do their thing. They don't know how to make a beat. They don't know how to mix master.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know how to promote.
Yeah.
Like, you learn it, it's good for you, but you're handicapped, I feel like. You learn everything, it's best for you.
I'm just going to say this, since you brought that up, I'm not going to mention who or what or anything.
Who is it?
I met a certain somebody, somewhere, somehow. And let's just say that person is somewhat of a somewhat of a known figure in like the music scene and like the rap music scene. And when I met this person, we were talking about like music for a brief moment, not too long. And that person did not know what FL Studio was.
Okay.
My head
Wait,
just
yeah.
like, I was like, bro, you have a career in this.
How is that possible?
Dude, I genuinely lost it. I was like,
Did you tell them Fruity Loops? Maybe they guessed it then.
I broke it down from like, okay, there's FL Studio 12, there's
Okay.
FL Studio 20, maybe you know that one? No, anything?
They don't know any of it.
Zero peep, nothing. I was like, like, just like, it's been a long day. It's just fine, whatever. I mean, hey, who am I to criticize? It is
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is. Even though I do feel a certain way about it, it is what it is. It is what it is. And now we were, we were talking about our creative processes as well. Would you mind sharing like a little glimpse or a little sneak peek of how you generally approach a beat or how you generally make a beat?
Like you're saying how it started.
Yeah. How like let's say okay, you wake up and you're in the mood to create a beat. How and you open up FL. What's like how do you make it? Like if for example, when I with my sort of a little bit of research that I've done and a little bit of videos that I've watched, being interested in hip hop, I've watched a lot of obviously you know who Nick Mira is.
Nick Mira, oh
Yeah.
hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nick Mira, he started off his beats by, if I'm not wrong, doing either the melody first or the drums first.
They did both, but like he's a melody guy.
Like he mentioned it in some specific video. I'm not sure where exactly. It's
But
been a
he's
while.
got so many tutorials.
Exactly, he's got so many tutorials, bro. So like
funny.
he mentioned that, and like ever since he mentioned that, I took that idea and I didn't really think about it, but like whenever I approach music, I'll start off in a way where I always usually go for the sample first. So how would your process look like?
So for me too, it's mostly the sample. I always have either an idea in mind or I just pick a sample. Sometimes I go into the thing with drums in my mind now. If I'm doing, depends on the BPM, right?
Correct.
So if I have, like now I was telling you, I used to make lo-fi. So for songs like that, I'll already have like an entire template. So like I sample these vocals, put them right here. Now for lo-fi, you know what the main themes are, like rain noises, crackles, just like random ambiences, right?
Yeah.
So for that, I'll sample the dialogue, put them over a melody, put those in. And now if I'm just making a trap beat, it'll mostly just be the sample, right? And there's always like a strict thing that I know where to cut what frequencies. Like now you load any sampler, you're going to have to take out the bass frequencies.
Yes.
Right? So the mids stay and you have like the high mids. Unless like the sample itself has like bass in it. So I'd pull that sample in, just tweak it, maybe reverse it. Gross beat.
I love
Gross
God.
beat.
Again, shout out to Grossbeat for saving my career, bro.
Yeah, gross beat did. Yeah, man, there's so much shit you can do with FL. Like, I hate it when people shit on FL. Like, it is what it
Who
is.
shits on FL?
People who use Logic.
Really?
Bro.
Yeah.
People who use Logic.
Yeah, man.
Man, dude. Shut up, bro.
Logic.
Just do what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Exactly. No, like, I understand why there's a stigma, like, use Logic, but hey, like, FL. That's it. Don't talk shit about my.
Literally, like the biggest producer in the world right now has his roots set in FL. Still does it in FL, even though he might have whatever device like Mac, whatever. So like, I'm talking about Metro. Like dude, he still uses
Metro, Nick Mira,
Southside.
Cody, Southside.
Yeah.
I don't know what Timbaland uses.
Yeah, he's old school. He's probably the type of people who will use like anything and everything.
Anything.
You know?
Timbaland, yeah.
But yeah, like
Exactly.
okay, yeah.
So yeah, my creative process. After that, I do the drums, and that's it, man. Nothing too special. Just like what everyone else does.
Fair.
I don't have a particular sauce. I do have a sauce in my drums.
Okay, that's obviously it's yours.
I
personal
won't
thing.
share that. But
Yeah, no, of course.
So the melodies, that's up to everyone.
Yeah.
With my drums to make them knock, because trap, right?
Yeah.
I have my own sauce for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I found the sauce on YouTube, but it's still a secret sauce.
Yeah, you don't want to. Like, it's still up to you. It's totally
That should be knocking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's sick, man. That's sick.
Yes,
Let's see what else we got here. So, okay. Okay, enough talk shop. Let's talk about like our favorite artists.
Wait, let me ask you, who are your favorite artists?
Do you mean like a top 5?
Okay, yeah, top 5. Top 5 in no order.
Top 5 in no order. I'm gonna definitely throw in Kanye there.
Okay.
Kanye, dude, like Kanye has to be there. No matter what. He's like, no matter at what stage I am in life, Kanye will always be there.
Okay.
Second, I'd give it to Kid Cudi, bro.
Okay.
I'm something about his music just speaks to me deeply on so many levels. I love Kid Cudi so much. Then third spot, I would give it to, I want to give it to Mac Miller.
Okay.
I want to give it to
Okay,
Mac Miller.
nice.
Mac Miller's got like a, I don't know, bro. He's very personal. He's like insanely personal. The vulnerability of his music is just it speaks too much to me. And okay, I got Mac Miller. Then I would put, and then I'd throw in. Okay, I guess for I guess the most mainstream answer.
Drake.
No,
Travis. Yeah, okay.
Travis.
I like Travis too.
Yeah, but in a good way. Like my mainstream, but like in a good way. Like of course, Travis. I don't even need to explain, bro. Especially with how Utopia dropped.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I mean, not so fun, but like when Utopia had dropped, right? I
Didn't like
hated the album.
Yeah, it grows on you.
It grows on me like insane, dude. It's still growing on me.
Astro better. Utopia was good too.
Oh, dude.
What do you think? Astro or Utopia?
The thing is, Utopia is growing in me in such a way where it's almost peaking out to Astroworld.
Okay.
Something about the production, bro. I don't know. It's insane. So like, yeah, I absolutely love Travis and final. And wait, I mentioned 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fifth spot. Fifth spot. I'd give it to Denzel Curry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Denzel Curry is
He has
like,
his own sound.
Yeah. It's like there's something about Denzel Curry where like my music taste was a certain way up until 2018, okay? And then in 2018, Denzel Curry dropped this album called Taboo. And like I highly recommend any hip hop or rap guy to definitely check this out. Shout out to Denzel Curry, bro. Shout out to Taboo too. Like those, like that album changed my music taste. Like you know how when you have a moment and your music taste just expands.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, I didn't know these sounds could work.
It could work. This existed. Yeah.
Exactly. So Denzel really pushed that. He had, he pushed the themes of like R&B. He pushed like all the lyrical rap stuff, trap, emo.
metal.
Dude, you know Billie Eilish is that on that album of all artists. She's like a secret feature.
She credited? Oh, she's
secret
not.
feature.
That's
Secret
good.
feature.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, point being, those are my top 5. What about you, man?
I was having this conversation with one of my friends the other day. So it's a very mixed thing. But are we talking about just rappers or like all-time musicians?
I looked at it in an all-time musicians aspect because like I mainly listen to hip hop. So you can give me your all-time.
For me, it would be I definitely
musicians.
have to put Modern Garrix on there.
Okay. Respectable.
Garrix.
Of course.
Afrojack.
Oh, okay.
EDM, Garrix, Afrojack.
Fair.
When it comes to hip hop, like Triple X,
Oh,
Juice.
R.I.P.
Fifth. This is hard. I'd have to say Travis. But there's a lot of guys I listen to.
Wait, so your like overall music top 5 is like Martin Garrix, Afrojack,
Triple X,
Triple X,
Juice.
Juice WRLD, and like Travis Scott.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing. I'd love to put J. Cole on there.
Oh, okay.
J. Cole, it's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think I know who you are.
JD. I want JD on there, but like it's fine. I said no order, right?
Bro, all like the rap heads are screaming at one name for both of us. We haven't mentioned him yet. Take a guess who I'm talking about.
It can't be Drake.
No. Kendrick. Neither of us
Kendrick.
even peeped at Kendrick.
Yeah.
What do you think about his album though? The whole Mr. Morale and the Big
I'm not
Step?
gonna lie, I haven't heard much of it.
Fair.
Like
Neither have I.
I listen to Kendrick, but not that much. I'm not a big Kendrick head, if I'm being honest.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I like, bro. You know who I like more than Kendrick? Baby Keem.
Yeah, I can see that.
Take.
No, I can see that.
Bro,
I can see
Baby
that.
Keem hard as hell.
Baby Keem, he's on the come up, man. There's a reason why
He's
he's like,
been on the come up for a while. So the thing is, I was going through his discography, right? Bro, he's been like songwriting for people for like a long time. He had his career take off in 2018. He had Orange Soda, right? But he's been writing for people for way longer. Like, you guys know Num Num Juice?
No.
Kudo. Okay.
nah, bro. I know the Orange
Schoolboy
Juice
Q.
one. Yeah. Oh, okay. He worked with Schoolboy Q.
He wrote that.
That's
That
great.
song's hard.
Yeah.
That song's hard.
Yeah.
He produces too a little bit, right? So
Okay. Let me ask you a little more tougher question. If you had to listen to one album for the rest of your life, just one album.
I
Give me
had
any
this
artist.
conversation the other day. So I found an Instagram post. It was like one album you can have on 3 albums. So
Okay, sure, yeah.
I just mentioned that. So one of them was Afrojack's album, Forget the World.
Okay.
Second is Nothing But the Beat, David Guetta.
Okay, so the EDM influence is heavy.
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 Third,
Love that.
hip-hop, it's gotta be Astroworld, because I listen to a lot of rappers, but Astroworld is that one album you can listen to on repeat without any skips. Everyone would agree on that. Personal albums, yeah, that's it. That's about it. without any skips. That is.
Without any skips. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. I mean, like, I can't really comment on the whole EDM aspect, but like, still respectable, man. Good shit. Good shit.
I want to make EDM. I do a little bit. I'm gonna get into that fully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go, bro. Bring it back.
Yeah. That's what, right? So people, I was having this conversation with one of my friends. You know Avnish.
Yeah.
So I love the whole 2010 to 2015 EDM scene, right?
Yeah.
Progressive, Garrix, Afrojack, and Avnish and we were talking, and he was just telling me like, "Yo, that shit's dead, bro. Just get into techno." I'm like, "Hell no." I want to do techno,
right? From EDM to techno,
like I'd love to make techno, but I grew up. If I started making techno before I started making EDM, I feel like that'd be me cheating myself. At the end of the day, it depends on what kind of music I want to make.
Yeah.
But he was just shitting on it. He was like, "Yo, that sound is dead, bro." Like I'm like, "Dog, no. Like, and it can come back anytime. Like to some extent, progressive house is dead. You can agree on that. People don't be listening to Hardwell, and all the old guys anymore, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be brought back. Someone has
Hardwell,
to revive
Rehab,
the
all these guys. Yeah.
Rehab. I was gonna say Rehab. Exactly. All those. Garrix people still listen to.
Yeah.
I
Because he's like the goats.
Yeah, one of the goats for sure. Tiesto, bro.
Tiesto.
Diplo. Yeah, I'm not a big Diplo fan, but I like his stuff.
Okay.
Tiesto for sure. Tiesto's up there for me.
I mean, I'll tell you what. It's like a thing where I feel like, on one hand, yes, I feel like EDM is very dead, and I don't like EDM. So I'm always gonna have that part of me. But I also have another part of me that realizes that the genre I'm listening to would not be where it is without EDM.
Right.
I don't think hip-hop would be where it is in the trap scene without the EDM's
The
like
influence for sure.
The revolutionary, the revolution of EDM with Skrillex with his dubstep stuff, bro. Like that set like the soundscape changed, dude. The entire soundscape
Such
changed.
a whole new standard out there.
Exactly. So like I still respect it. So yeah, that's
Skrillex, I was just watching one of his videos. Him and Fred again. Wow, Fred again's too good. I think he's the next.
Oh, Fred again.
He's slowly on the rise to becoming the next GOAT.
Oh, I see.
Music. I mean, I don't listen to him that actively, but he's very talented. You can just tell from his stuff.
Okay. Now, I want to bring it back to the talk shop a little bit. I wanted to ask you, generally, when you work with another artist, is there a certain criteria you look for, like where you're like, I don't want to work with an artist who, maybe talks about certain stuff, or like there are artists who work a certain way. You don't like that, or anything of that sort.
No, man. Most of the time,
you're just open to working.
They got to be talented.
That's it.
I got to make sure they have their they respect everyone who's part of it. So whenever someone drops a song, right, any rapper I watch or look up to, I make sure I go check their tag, like their credits. I make sure they tag, like credit the videographers, the producers, the mix engineers. I feel like that goes a long way. So to know that, I mean, I'm not always looking at that first when I'm working with someone, or I want to work with someone, but I feel like that's one of the things. Then few things would be like nothing. You can talk about whatever you want, but there are some artists who think like they're the shit.
Oh yeah,
right.
Like way too cocky.
Yeah, you
all talk, no substance.
Yeah, like you can't judge of Instagram again because everyone comes out the same, right? Like people have to post a lot these days to sell themselves. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't look for anything like that in particular. This is the same thing everyone else looks for. They got to be really talented. Or most of the time, even if they're probably not as talented, but they can go somewhere, right?
Oh yeah. I try to see the potential.
Yeah, I try to like definitely help them out and get that full potential out to some extent.
Okay. Now, let's say you finally get to work with an artist who you respect and like you want to work with.
Yeah.
Now, let's say the artist, is whatever caliber. Like it doesn't matter what caliber they are. It doesn't matter what caliber you are. Are you the type of artist, or like the producer who would want to let the artist have complete freedom in what they're doing, or would you try to pitch in how much of a help you can, or like I'm saying like in a micromanaging way?
Are you saying that I try to dilute the creative control?
I wouldn't say dilute. I would say since you're the producer, right? So being a producer, you'd want to look out for the best interest of the track.
Yeah.
Not the best interest of the artist, because like the artist, it's like the artist will have some specific things he'll want to talk about, or maybe an extra verse, or maybe a specific flow.
Yeah.
But you're just listening to it, being like a third person looking at it objectively, and you're like, nah, this may not stick.
Yeah.
Which path would you lean more towards?
That's a very good question. I'll tell you why. So most of the time when I work with any rapper, once I make the beat, my job is done. Unless I'm in the studio with you, like we're cooking up here, then we're writing together, then I feel like there's more room for us to be creatively involved. Right now, if I'm working with someone remotely, once I make the beat, my job is done. The rapper gets full creative control. You add how many layers you want, stacks. But I will, once I get the demo back, I will like give advice. Obviously, like now it could be the tone. Some of these people, like the way they deliver certain tones, the flow will be on point. Like fuck, the flow will be too good, but the tone might not be nice.
True.
So I'll give suggestions on that.
Very true.
Sometimes maybe you can bring in a female vocalist, make it sound more
Yeah. Madhav, do you remember the time when I was trying to record a song with you and you saved the part where I messed up the singing? We were working on a track called Villain Face. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He came in a part of the song where my singing wasn't good at that point, and we were trying to figure out, bro, how do we make this work? And you know what Madhav came up with? The goat that he is, bro, added a lo-fi filter on that section alone, and that segued into back of the trap element of the song. It's like a lyrical
I get it.
Sound.
It made it sound better, right?
It made it sound better because it took away the singing. The focus is more on the aesthetic lo-fi.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, I think that's
fun. Exactly. So, getting back to the question you asked, if you have people like that who know what to do in those segments where like you feel like the song's losing some energy or something's happening, that's perfect. Again, why I give as much creative room as I can to the artist. But again, depends. Bro. Some artists will come back to me and be like, yo, this is what I wrote. Some artists will only hit me up a day before the songs, or like a week before the song's gonna come out. Quite literally. Right? So I can't help them there then. Like it's already recorded. I can't like
so,
be
so
like,
you're saying you'll take more of a flexible stance on the whole thing. Like you're willing to go both ways where like depending on how the situation pans out, you will be the type of guy who to just let them do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, pitch in and like get shit done.
Yeah.
If you have to.
Again, depends. Now, if there's a rapper who knows what he's doing, I don't have to tell him shit.
Fact.
I'm not gonna go and preach to him. He's good for a reason. There's someone who's like, I'll tell him, like, oh, do this, do that. Yeah. But like, end of the day, you don't have to take my advice for it. Just go do your own thing.
Alright, man. Yeah. Of course. Okay.
Because I really feel that once I make the beat, my job is done. Like, even if the song comes out shit, in my opinion, but it's like the best song in the world for you, like go ahead and do your thing, dog.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
Because music's very subjective. Even with my friends, we have like debates on, like this music. Kanye, for example, people talk about he's like shit now. Like anyone, right? There's like, I've seen those debates within my friend circle of artists, singers, people progressing, right? I see how dynamic the reviews are, the feedback. So when it comes to my music, I know it's got to be the same. So I can't like tell you, this has to go this way. Even you would agree on that, right?
I would. No, I certainly
because
would.
we have to be open to constructive criticism and like the worst form of it.
It's like when you take up something in terms of music, it's like bro, you have to be as open. Like you just need to know when to say when. Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. So I agree with pretty much everything that you said. That's great. And as you're working with these artists and you're making these beats for them, what is your way of making sure the whole process does not get repetitive? Like let's say you're working on a beat and like maybe I'm saying this purely because I experienced these things too, where I was working. Let's say I'm working on a beat and like I was working on it to a point where I'm not able to think about anything true. Like what's your way of like taking a break from it and like coming back into it? Like how do you approach it? Are you like the type of person who gets it done the second you get it?
No breaks.
No breaks.
No breaks.
You don't like come back to a beat.
Nah. Oh wait, you mean like make a beat and then not feeling it, I come back to it another day?
Sure, you can even look at it that way. I meant more in the sense where let's say you take a specific
You're
beat.
talking about one session, right? One studio session.
Sure, yeah. Once
no breaks.
No breaks.
No breaks. No.
Wow.
I feel like it'll break the flow.
Okay, yeah, that is okay.
It'll break also like even when me and my friends we work, like same guys are shooting music with, we just make music the entire night, no breaks. Of course we take like little break here to just but not because the song's like too loopy or repetitive. Never. Because I think when we make music, we make it in such a way it's not that way. This is only when I'm with my friends making music, obviously. There are others I work with away from my creative control being there in person. It may sound loopy, but hooks, man. Hooks have to be.
Hooks the name of the game in hip hop, man. Like,
exactly.
It is what it is. It's because like I've had my moments where like let's say I'm working on a beat. The flow is there. That creative flow where you think you're on top of the world. That thing is there.
It's the best.
It's the best. It's addictive as shit.
Exactly.
But what happens to me is I get so involved in it. After a point, I'm not able to objectively think what sounds best.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes.
Oh yeah. When that happens, you obviously have to like pack it up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, obviously. Yeah.
So that's something I deal with in like 80% of my beats. 20% of the time is only when like I sit in, I do it, it's done.
Okay.
It's a very hit or miss thing.
Okay, so you let me guess.
With
You
my
have a lot of unfinished projects.
Yo, dude, you have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, like unfinished
I mean, we
projects
all
I mean,
do,
in
but-
terms of beats, not like in terms of
rapping.
songs. Not
Right,
in
right,
terms of
yeah.
songs.
Understandably.
Yeah. That's anybody,
fine.
right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, man, that was that. And
Madhav, you got any questions? You just chilling there.
I'm just chilling.
I was getting real cozy, bro. Are you still here with us?
Just chilling. I'm still with you guys. Don't worry.
I know.
Yeah. And hey, okay, so obviously you have a lot of other work coming up, and
okay.
what would you say is one thing that like a personal goal
forward.
of yours that you're trying to achieve with your next project, whatever it is,
My
like
next
a
project.
single or an EP?
Okay, I love that question. With my next project, it has to. So all this while I've been producing for others, right? Because, I mean, sort of situational. Because I wasn't in a position where like, I have an audience. I still don't have an audience as much, if I'm being honest. But for the longest I was producing for others, still am to this day. But now I've realized the importance of, again, you asked me a question about mistakes or advices. You can have an individual career where you just produce for others, but if you want to stand out, you have to release your own shit.
Exactly.
Like you
Make your
brand
own
it,
mark.
you market it, you shoot the video, you spend the money to promote it, right? So my goal for the next one, so Pick Your Poison, it's not my song, it's all of us, me and my friends, but I'm taking the initiative with them to like, this might be like, I might be teasing it before the plan even rolls out, so touch wood. But the plan is we get sponsors, because all of us are broke, right? Broke enough to not like spend enough money on our video, make it fancy.
Very limited.
Because the song's very good.
Yeah.
It cannot come out with like a basic video of us sitting on a car and just performing.
Oh, no, of course.
It has to come out nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotta do it right.
Get sponsors, shoot the video, spend the money into ads. Goal-wise, make sure that this song or like the songs which are coming after this will be what sets the standard for R&B trap in Chennai. Right?
Okay.
So, I'm not saying in just particular this song. There's a lot of songs we have. So again, you asked me about like if we take breaks now. So this is how it is. Me and my friends, there are a few of my friends who live close by to work on music. There are a few guys who live very far away. So when we all meet to work one night, there will be like 4 producers in the house, 3 rappers, all under one. But my room's like, just about the size of this, but it's not like, soundproofed.
Right.
And we be blasting music, my neighbors be complaining. We finish as many songs as we can in one night. So that again translates to what music we're making and how we want to put it out. Because when it comes out, we want to set the standard, right? Because like I told you, I want to establish myself as a producer as well in the scene.
Of course. So
Right.
your main goal is to pretty much expand the fuck out, pretty much.
Yeah, it's hard to get numbers.
Yeah, it's
hard to
extremely
get
hard to get
numbers. And I
numbers,
just finished college, so I'm trying to prove to my parents like I can make this full time.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've done it to some extent, but like you guys know how music revenue is not stable.
Plus, we're in India, bro.
Plus, in India, you get paid like dog shit for like
we're in a very like weird market situation.
Yeah,
where, like,
yeah.
It's so diverse.
It is-
So it's like everything's become a niche, or like somewhat of a niche,
Yeah.
It's tough that way. So I understand your pain, man.
Yeah.
I understand your pain.
Each other's pain.
Each other's
Kind of
pain.
thing.
Each other's pain.
Yeah.
That sort of brings me into the next, sort of like big topic I wanted to just talk about was like, like speaking of how like the market's very diverse these days. What are your thoughts on how TikTok has changed the music game? In the sense that I personally feel the second TikTok came, the fact that a song has to be just bass catchy without it being a good song has taken over the fact. It's like talent has gone down, but like the what do you call it? The catchiness has gone up. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a very good question because again, it's a very gray area, right?
It's a very gray area.
TikTok has helped to a good extent, but it's also made like shit rappers blow up. Like Coiler, shit. Okay,
There it is. There it is.
a lot of people. I don't know how to answer that. But the first answer would be music, regardless, is always catchy, has to be catchy. So people pushing it an extra limit. Again, bro, it comes. So if you're making catchy shit, it's fine. Again, that contributes to if you're making this much catchy shit, are you this much talented? Or is your talent this much and this is the catchy shit you're making? Right? If it's on the even scale, it's fine. You're talented, you're making catchy shit, it's good. If you're like dog shit and you're like making catchy shit, which is still good. You're getting numbers, you're proving a hater is wrong. But how long will you sustain your career?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? Because
You don't wanna be a
you need
one-hit
longevity in
wonder.
this. You need longevity. You can't just you can't be a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that also the problem with that is TikTok also sends this unprecedented
Sense
sort of
of-
bar. Because
music?
because I personally feel, let's say an artist becomes big on TikTok, they make that one song, I think that'll be the end of their career because that's the one song they'll be known for, and the audience are not very receptive to new stuff unless there's someone like Ice Spice. And I have a theory, low-key, where I feel like Ice Spice might be somewhat of an industry plant. Not gonna lie.
But like,
not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not trying to take shots here, but I personally feel like the way her growth has been, bro. Like,
it's
her first EP just insane.
It's ridiculous.
You see,
I was going through her numbers in less than 15 months to 18 months. She's top 50 in the world, I think.
Easily.
Top 80.
Dude, and she's
top 80 in less than 2 years.
Swift.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Swift,
bro, she's definitely an industry plant.
See what I mean? Like, look, again, we're not trying to take shots here. We're just looking at it for what it is. Because you see,
her music's not even great.
Exactly, it's catchy.
Like, it's catchy though.
It's catchy. You see, that's what TikTok is doing.
Yeah, it is catchy. No, to answer your question, that makes sense. But like, you gotta ride the wave or you're gonna lose out on it. Me and you have to like ride on TikTok. That is our only way. Like, no, look at it this way, right, guys? So, TikTok got banned in India.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that popped up?
In India?
Yeah.
Reels?
Exactly. Instagram introduced Reels. I don't know if it's particular to India, right?
It's probably worldwide.
No, Reels was worldwide.
Yeah.
But you get my point.
Yeah. India's number one is Reels.
Yeah, exactly. India's number one is Reels. So if India didn't have Reels, like if Instagram didn't come out with Reels, I'm not saying just for India, what would we have done?
Correct.
What other platform was there?
Yeah.
Do you know any? There's Thriller, there's Josh, there's Moj, but like not with a standard good audience as much as Instagram. So people who caught on the Reels wave early, they made it big. I remember there's one girl, I think Sakshi or something.
Okay.
Like she started doing heavy reels and few months, like I think less than a year, she started doing commercials for Netflix. And she was making like funny content. But you get my point. You ride the wave, you're on it, or like you follow.
So your take on this whole thing is like, even though it's different and it has its own minuses and pluses, it's necessary.
Yeah, screw the minuses.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Screw the minuses.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're just going to become part of the group that's just complaining. Like, what action are you taking?
That is also very true. Very true.
You can think about it like we're talking about it now. That's good. Receptive of it. You can't stay lost in that.
Yeah. You just have to accept it for what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we need it. How does it mean you got? I mean, we could do the standard method of like selling CDs or like going in person.
CDs,
it's out, right?
CDs are dead, bro.
No, but you get my point. Like I'm talking about going in person.
Old method is not going to be sustainable.
Exactly. Old method is not going to work. You can't go in person and be like, hey, you could. It will still work, but Reels, like you pay $100 or like $200, you're in front of 1,000 people immediately. Where else can you get that?
Okay.
Like now I was watching a video about Gary Vee, I think. He was talking about how when you advertise your music, don't do it particularly like countries where there's already a very saturated crowd, where it's very expensive to do ads. Like take countries like somewhere in Africa or like Indonesia, where it's cheaper to get per 1,000 people how much it's gonna cost you. Doesn't matter if you just
capitalize on an untapped market.
Exactly. Which makes sense.
Fair, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So again, we need end of the day the talent will speak for itself.
That is ultimately, yeah. Okay, fair. I can get behind that. That makes sense. I agree. I mean, to be very honest with you, I would say that I was more on the complaining end. Not gonna lie. But I was
on the complaining end too, because now we're talking about music and TikTok.
Yeah.
Let's talk about TikTok and like other vulgar shit we see on the internet. Right? We saw some funny memes.
Yeah.
Those are funny. Like, but we have seen the extremes.
Yeah.
So TikTok as a whole is definitely toxic. But hey, like for musicians, we need it.
Okay.
Right. So
that is fair, man. Like I like that you are seeing it for what it is.
Yeah, bro. Like me and my friends, we talk a lot about like. All of us can admit that we are addicted to our phones to some extent now. You can.
I think to every extent.
To every extent. Right? I've said this. I did so for the longest. I said a screen time. Not a screen. Like I knew I was watching my screen time. Now I don't give a shit because I have to be on my phone. Like whether it's music, calls, like emails. It's a necessary evil, right?
It's a necessary
evil too.
Yeah, TikTok said, okay, that's a great way of putting it. I agree with it too. Like now I agree with it. Before I was very, should I take it? Nah.
So,
but now that we're able to talk about it, we're able to reinforce these ideas and like accept it.
Yeah.
So that's great. I agree with you. Yeah, yes. Necessary evil.
Necessary evil.
Shout out TikTok.
Shout out necessary evil. My friend.
The fact that I said shout out TikTok. Who am I?
Oh shit. But even I was watching. I mean, this is completely out of context. So I was watching how Elon Musk just like took over Twitter, right? So I was just like googling and like fuck, he bought it for $44 billion.
Yeah.
This is arguably the most powerful man in the world. One of them at least.
One of them, yes.
And he has access to a social media platform. And even Twitter to some extent. All social media platforms to some extent are toxic. Like Twitter too is like pretty fucked.
Yeah.
So
It's the nature of it.
exactly no, but people don't really promote the music on Twitter that much. Like they do, but what's better? Instagram.
Always.
What's better?
That's where the
Facebook-
most eyes are.
Exactly. Screw Facebook.
Facebook has cobwebs in them, bro.
What are cobwebs?
No, like cobwebs.
Inbuilt.
I just meant they're pretty old.
Oh,
like cobwebs,
okay.
like-
Apply.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't use
Twitter is just for people to talk shit.
talk shit. Yeah.
that's-
No, Instagram came up with threads. Like,
Oh,
what the
geez.
fuck?
Are you on Threads?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it that much of a mess?
Threads.
Yeah.
No, like it's fine. It's just another platform, but like it's crazy, like that all these companies, everyone's doing so much to just get people wired to their phones, just to keep using social media, max that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad.
It's very sad, man. It's very sad.
No, as musicians, we'll all agree that if given a choice to promote our music without social media, we throw it away.
Yeah.
I think anyone would want to throw social media away regardless. But as musicians, we are more inclined towards art,
Yeah.
right? And social media is not.
Social media is definitely not.
Yeah.
Social media is into like goofy stuff these days,
Yeah, hell
Goofy
goofy
stuff.
stuff.
It's like I think the best example of this probably will be Ice Spice. All the songs are to some extent goofy as shit.
I mean,
But it works.
oh wait, yeah, like even Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion,
Which one?
WAP?
WAP? Oh yeah, that is
WAP or WAP?
whatever. Bro. Yeah, it's
Then
fine.
they dropped another one. No, what's it called?
Bongos. It's called bongos or something.
Bongos. Yeah, the beat has bongos in it.
Yeah, it literally has
Yeah.
bongos in it. It's also a
Yeah,
metaphor to you know what. So yeah, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just
You didn't get that?
Bro, no, I just saw like the video.
you have Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. What do you think the song's gonna be about?
Yeah, exactly. But hey, shit, now it's getting a.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's no shame in it. It's
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Now, I think we spoke about a good bunch of stuff.
Spoke about a bunch of shit.
I would like to get
We
to
got
the
time, we
final
got time.
part. I would like to get to the final part.
Final part, okay.
About the podcast is that I
I feel like
noticed.
the final part came a little too soon, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. It's just that I wanted to talk about because I was looking at your profile on Instagram and I noticed this thing called Koji on your
Okay.
on your bio.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about what it is?
Okay, yeah,
I'm not sure what
this
it
is. a secret sauce to everyone that is an artist or any business, whatever, right? So you guys know Linktree.
Yes.
Right, Linktree is very good. Koji happens to be the best at it because they cater directly to all sort of customers or the retailers.
It's like a one-stop shop. you could say.
One-stop, I wouldn't say shop, it's a one-stop link to add everything you want. So for me, you have all my beat store, my music, whatever, right? They also have an interface or like a program where you can set a shop through their link. It collects massive data. I don't think Linktree collects data of where your clicks are coming from, how long they stay on it, each link, how many clicks, which country. Did I say that already? Which country, all of that.
Oh.
And for me, bro, it's just too good. You guys have to get Koji.
Okay. So it's like
If you guys don't know what Koji or Linktree is, it's a one link to all your other links. It's all in access one link.
so it just consolidates everything.
everything into one link, and it's too good. So for me, I'm trying to set up my shop on that, like selling beats, but yeah.
Is Koji like a paid service that you
No, it's free. It's full. You can get the paid on.
Oh.
And if you didn't know, if you get your friends to go on through it,
Like a reference?
referral, and if they start to spend on it, you get a referral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
So you can just make literally
yeah.
some money without even doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No worry, I haven't made any money.
Hey, no way. So it's not about the money, but we're in it for the art. We're in it for the
Yeah.
That's how I see it, Money is just it's like how they say, right? Don't work for the money, work for the cause.
Work for the cause, exactly.
for the cause.
That, like I told you, I lost that a little bit along the way because like shit was bad at home. Bro.
Shit was bad at
I don't want
I
to go
can
into
relate.
it.
No, same.
But like,
I fully agree.
Throughout COVID, like shit was very bad.
Yeah.
So, but eventually I snapped out of it. Even now I've snapped out of it. I'm not focusing on beat sales that much. Collabs. But again, some sustainability. I'm doing a part-time job just to like cover up for that. Just so I can focus on the collab aspect rather than chase the beat sales.
Of course.
Yeah, but I teach people to make beats. Fiverr.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
So
That
basically
works.
like your lines of making money in music is like teaching, producing like beats,
Yeah.
mixing. Do you offer mixing services?
I just started like recently.
Okay.
Then what else? Like distribute as a referral program to royalties. Yes, like you gotta have like multiple streams of income.
Okay. That's great, man. I think. Do you want to call it?
Oh shit, yeah. Damn, I'm gonna miss this.
Hey man, me
It's
too.
my first time, right? So this feels good.
Same.
Like,
My first
I didn't
time
even
to
realize an hour went by.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just, that's what happens when you talk about what you love, right? Ultimately, you just wanna talk.
Okay.
You just wanna
Wait,
talk.
let me ask you though.
course.
What made you want to get into music?
What made me?
Yeah. Was it a heartbreak or just like?
I think the way I look at music, right? For me, the most important part of music is for it to be an outlet. A sort of like personally, if you ask me, I'm not someone who keeps up like, how many people keep like journals for themselves, talk about what they did in the day, talk about what they're going through.
Yeah.
Like I have the personal journal. I don't do that. I have a certain sort of, so I'm kind of against in the sense it's not for me. I just don't write it. I can't I'm not someone who is into like reading books or any of that sort. So for me, there's not a lot of outlets that I have personally. So the way I look at music is it's a very, very personal thing where I express things that I do that I feel like I'm unable to feel or unable to express out loud. Absolutely. So I put it out there, and like also because of the fact that I just love beat making.
Love beat making.
I love it's so like, especially when I got into sampling, it just felt so satisfying. I don't know how to describe it, and the thing is, I always believe this is like one of my core values, right? As like a personally, it's like my level of respect that I have for an artist is through the roof because we are literally doing God's work, bro.
Yeah,
we are creating
the same conversation with one of my friends. You realize you can you can change time, you can change realities, when you make music to some extent, you tap into someone's life and you freeze it for a while.
Yeah,
you're changing timeline essentially.
That's insane.
Yeah. You're doing God's work.
Exactly, and I like recall the number of times in your life where you're going through something horrible, or even if you're going through something great, regardless of what the emotion is, when you add music to it, it just amplifies it so much more. So much more.
Are you one of those guys who can't like go without listening to music like every day?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, like, I need music, bro.
Every day.
I straight up need music.
Yeah.
Like, so much so where, like, I remember when I was a kid and I was trying to study stuff, I would memorize things in a musical pattern. That's how it will stay in my head. I can't read, like, I'm not someone who can digest information that way. Like, me personally is what I'm saying. Like, that's how fundamental music has been with me.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, that's what I would say. To me, music is all about, it's literally all about self-reflection for me. I get very personal in my songs. I mean, not in terms of details, more in terms of emotions,
Okay.
Just talk about, express how I feel.
Okay.
Just really like, and express it in the best way that makes sense for the beat too. Because you have to understand, there's also the fact that it has to be listenable.
Yeah.
Because if it isn't, you're in the wrong business, mate. It's just what it is.
That's fine, but at the end of the day, if you're doing what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, of course. You're doing what you love.
I'm trying to get to that too. Like, I recently realized I could, like, rap, sing. As producers, you have an ability to sing to some extent because you catch harmonies, you catch melodies.
Yeah.
Even lyrics, right?
Those ideas keep popping in your head all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And I get like bars that fly over my head, but I don't write them down. So I'm trying to get to where you are.
Yeah.
Start writing and recording.
Dude, trust me, it's been like a fucking long journey, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to start it, but I want to. Like, there's so much
but the thing is, me being on someone, I'll tell you this, I'm not some high level writer. I'll still say my writing is somewhat corny to some extent. But to me, I don't really care how it looks because it's me.
It's you.
How can I hate on me? It's as fundamental as that. So when I look at writing, it's like, bro, just write whatever it is. Whoever I deal with, whoever I talk to when it comes to music, I don't try to tell them any sort of formula. Because it's not like I have a formula.
Exactly.
The point is I did not have a formula.
Yeah.
I just went for it.
You just went for it. Okay,
I literally just downloaded a raffle. I was like, fuck it, I'll figure it out on my own. I did not watch a YouTube. I watched a couple of Genius Deconstructed, of like producers breaking it down, how they make other big song beats.
Genius.
Like TM88 breaking down XO2 Life.
Yeah.
Bro, OG stuff. Back when Genius was still
pretty good. Yeah, I think they
kind of washed up now.
Went broke, man. I think they were trying to sell the company at one point.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Genius, Madhav?
Well, I've seen memes come out of it.
Exactly. See, right?
Oh, I know what memes you're talking about. Jetson.
Yeah, all the fucking
Jetson Maiden.
Yeah, Jetson Maiden.
Yeah.
He's like, so
the WB's producer, right?
Yeah, he put like 2-step hats, right? Then he's like, I gave it to my homie to sauce it up, and then like his homie had like 2 more hats.
It's actually really like funny out of context clips from
Genius.
Or people parody Genius. It's funny.
If Genius wasn't there, I think producers or rappers wouldn't have understood beat making process.
They made that very transparent too.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah. Oh, but like there were a lot of producers who weren't revealing their source. Like few guys.
but that's respectable.
It's completely understand. Even Metro doesn't share a shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. It's crazy though.
Yeah, man. But that's what I would say. You know, like it's basically just comes down to the fact that you love what you do. It's you. You're doing you pretty much. Not like that's I think that's very, very important for me at least. It's like, you know, it's about expression. It's about letting out what you can't really let out to this, you know, sort of messed up world that we live in. You know, sometimes music. Sometimes music is the only way that makes sense for me to communicate only.
Communicate. Yeah.
It goes extremely deep, bro. It goes extremely deep. And the final main thing is that I just absolutely just love beat making. Like I'd even give up being a writer, but I'll never give up being a beat maker. That's one thing I'll live by till the end of my life. Because like,
Sorry, what are you saying?
what I meant was, I could even think about giving up writing, but I could never think about giving up beat making. Like I'm first and foremost a producer.
Yeah.
Then I come up as a rapper. That's what I would put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I relate to that.
Of course. So yeah, those are my, you know, that's what I think about music and life.
Lit. Damn.
Yeah, man, I know. Stuff got a little deep in here, but it's all good.
A little deep. Yeah, no, it's nice. I haven't spoken about shit like this in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. I believe even the first time we had a conversation, we had a
We
conversation
did
on
talk
Discord.
about like some.
We straight up talk about like stuff like this, just straight up just music stuff, you know. It feels very therapeutic too.
Yeah,
because, like,
yeah. Therapeutic.
We can't talk about this with the ordinary lad.
Yeah.
You can't be like, hey, do you know who TMIT it is? we can't do that.
Yeah.
We really can't do that. But it is what it is, you know. I'm glad I honestly got to.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This is the best way to have a first meeting too.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Of course, bro. You're welcome anytime to have another episode with us. We'd love to have you after you make it.
Bro.
After you make
touch wood.
Touch wood.
I'd love to make it, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Eventually.
So yeah. So that's the Music for DS podcast, guys. Tune in for the next episode.
Go subscribe, go like the video, and check out the next one.
Yeah. See ya. That was so bad. Horrible.
It's hard leaving that in.
Yeah. You're leaving that in. God.
Oh shit, bro! I thought we were doing breaks and shit. We just like went in.
Is it cut?